Hi, I'm Jen Fleischer, and this is Confidence Collaboration Trust, a change project about improving pre-hospital birth outcomes through a new training paradigm. My audience is the potential partners who I have invited to attend this information session. My goal is to persuade them to commit to this project. Hello, and thank you all for replying to my memo and invitation to meet this afternoon. It's exciting to have you all come together for this, and I appreciate you making time in your very busy schedules. As I mentioned in the memo, the purpose of this meeting is to review and discuss a proposal to improve pre-hospital births in Charlottesville through a new training paradigm. I'll be discussing the background data that led to this project, some of the problems and challenges facing your teams and providers, the vision and mission for the project, stakeholders and potential partners like yourself that could be involved, the goals and objectives of the project, the strategies needed to execute the project, and the agenda for a potential kickoff meeting. According to the CDC, there were approximately 50,000 out-of-hospital births in the US in 2012. 66% of those were home births and 29% of those were at a birth center. Though this only accounts for 1.36% of all births in the US, that's the highest rate of out-of-hospital births since 1975. The CDC expects that this trend of out-of-hospital births will increase in the coming years, and though 2012 data for Charlottesville out-of-hospital births is not available yet, with the opening of a new birth center in 2015 and 2 new midwifery practices in 2017, we should anticipate the same rate of increase of out-of-hospital births for the city. Beyond the rising trend in out-of-hospital births, there were 2 other impetuses for change in Charlottesville's pre-hospital emergency response protocols. The first came from the Thomas Jefferson Health District, of which Charlottesville is a part. The district reported remarkable disparities in birth outcomes between its white and African American mothers in the 2016 MAP process. It thus prioritized improving infant and maternal outcomes as an ongoing goal for the next 4 years. Second, there were 2 high-profile out-of-hospital birth accidents which happened in the spring of 2018. Both resulted in fetal deaths involving birth center deliveries, midwives, and EMS crews. These accidents led to a review of the citywide EMS OB call training and protocols. Training coordinators recognized that though the crews had high-level certified training credentials, they had a low level of confidence in their OB skills and increased anxiety during OB emergencies. This was predominantly due to the low volume of OB calls in the city. Essentially, the crews weren't being exposed to enough calls to improve their skills. Unfortunately, the accidents had also created a poor rapport and distress between EMS crews and midwives. In response, local midwives not involved in the accidents requested a joining of forces with EMS training coordinators in order to share knowledge and build relationships between the only 2 sets of providers who are meant to attend out-of-hospital births: midwives and first responders. The opportunity to collaborate resulted in the idea for this project to redesign the EMS training curriculum. The vision being to create a safe, robust, collaborative system for supporting pre-hospital births in the city of Charlottesville. The mission of this project is to minimize pre-hospital adverse birth outcomes through a cooperative system of diverse providers working together to improve their training, confidence, rapport, and quality of care. This is where you come in. I believe many of you have met one another outside of this meeting, but I wanted to reiterate what a crucial role you can play individually and as a whole to the success of this process. As the leaders in your fields, you can lend the experience and credibility to this project, which is detrimental to its adoption and implementation. With your partnership and that of other stakeholders, such as local midwives, pregnant women who are currently patients at UVA, practicing EMTs and paramedics who have responded to OB calls, there's an opportunity to not only improve the quality and efficiencies of services, but also the birth outcomes of the mothers and infants under your care and the care of your teams. With your help, I'm confident we can achieve the three main goals and objectives of this project. The first, to establish respectful, trusting relationships between historically divergent providers. We can do so via a trust-building kickoff meeting in December with the midwives, partners, and EMS crew representatives. The second, to have confident EMS crews skilled in pre-hospital OB protocols. We aim to improve and update the EMS training curriculum by mid-March 2019. This would include simulation scenarios with joint teams of midwives and EMS crews. And last, to provide seamless, high-quality continuity of care to promote positive birth outcomes. The objective being to reduce the rate of pre-hospital adverse outcomes by 50% by December of 2019. There are three main strategies to achieve these goals and objectives. The first is to engage local midwives and EMS crews in the process and the project. The second is to survey EMS crews prior to the training and afterward, and to report on those findings. Finally, follow up to track the outcomes and resurvey the crews and the midwives before the next training in 2020. We propose a kickoff meeting to begin the relationship building and rapport strengthening that's needed to carry the EMS crews, midwives, and yourselves through this process. It would begin ahead of the meeting with the circulation of a survey and a meeting agenda. It would open with agreements and introductions, such as paired listening to learn each other's shared beliefs, assumptions, values, motivations, and experiences. Then we'd move into a brainstorming process to begin thinking of and building out the new curriculum, including six hats thinking, a process through nominal group techniques which evaluates what's possible, what we should avoid as collaborative teams, the pros and cons of our proposal, and solutions. We'd finish the meeting with a review of the proposed solutions, a move towards consensus on those solutions, and a request for a follow-up meeting where we can evaluate those solutions. I'll open the floor now to any questions you may have about the kickoff meeting or this project in general. I'll be following up with you with a copy of this deck in an email later this week, but please don't hesitate to get in touch should you have any questions beforehand. Thank you so much again for your time and attention today. I look forward to working with you to improve the confidence, collaboration, and trust amongst our out-of-hospital providers in Charlottesville.